For more on the escalating Israel-Iran conflict, retired U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery joins me here at the MAP. He's a senior fellow with the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. Admiral, welcome. Great to have you.
Mike, thanks for being here.
So since you're a Navy man, let's start with the U.S. Navy assets in the Middle East region. A second carrier group, the Nimitz, is going into the Arabian Sea this weekend. How significant is it to have two carrier groups in the region?
Well, the big change is going to be the Nimitz was scheduled to come. It's coming faster. And I imagine the Carl Vinson strike group here will now stay.
Okay.
So we'll build up. And what that does is double the number of Navy fighter attack aircraft from, say, 50 to 100 that are available to conduct operations. The other big Navy group's up here.
Okay.
So these 5 destroyers, and there won't always be 5 exactly here, are positioned in the Eastern Mediterranean to provide medium-range ballistic missile defense of Israel against weapons fired from Iran, and they can do some limited work against stuff coming from the Houthis down here. But they have a unique capability with the SM-3 missile, so they're big players. These destroyers are still remaining in the Red Sea against Houthi attacks.
Truxton, the Forrest Sherman.
That's right.
Okay. So let's move on. So here we go. So these are the nuclear facilities that have been attacked by the Israelis. Fordow is the big one that everybody's concerned about right now. It is not in downtown Tehran, the Iranian capital. Your thoughts on the targets, and what about Fordow?
So exactly right. They've hit Natanz, Isfahan, and other Iraq and other sites here and done significant damage. They've been around Fordow, but the reality is the president's right. Prime Minister Netanyahu said they could take Fordow. I think a fair statement is they could do significant damage to Fordow, but the only way you're going to destroy Fordow, and it's not a guarantee, but the only possible way are B-2 stealth bombers delivering the GBU-57, that 30,000-pound weapon.
Okay, so let's continue on. This is Fordow. Good look at it. Here's the facility. So you've got tunnel entrances here. You got centrifuges beneath the mountain. You got a support building at 18,000 square feet, a checkpoint there. There's been some suggestion that Israeli commandos could do the job, but that has great risk. So there is a lot of attention, obviously, on American might and the impact it could have there at Fordow.
You're exactly right. So the Israelis could do a commando attack on this. I think there's risk to mission, i.e. it wouldn't be successful, but also risk to force, the idea that you'd actually be able to extract those soldiers after you're completed. Their Air Force could destroy things like the support buildings, could destroy the electrical power infrastructure for this, could hit the tunnel entrances, just make it hard. But what the U.S. Air Force can do is flatten the area, in other words, cause a collapse of the facility.
We have some animation. We can show our audience what the B-2 could do if called into act. We'll see if the Commander-in-Chief makes that call, but here we go. So here's the GB-57 bunker buster bomb. The first one would go in, and then a second one would follow to go into the hole to presumably detonate and destroy the below-ground facilities. Your thoughts, sir?
Well, that's about right. So that weapon that you saw there coming in has a special casings that allow it to almost drill deeper. This graphic, the ones on FDD's website that Fox has been using, show that very explicitly. You create a channel that a second or third weapon could go through, and then they have special fuses that go off at that depth. The idea is to create an instability that causes the weight on a now unstable structure to collapse the facility down in and among itself, and that would destroy the up to 3,000 centrifuges that are there that are making the weapons-grade uranium.
Our pilots obviously train for these kind of missions. Your thoughts on the risk involved with that and how likely it would be to be successful?
So I'll break that up and I'll say, for the pilots, there's risk in every flight. There's certainly risk in every flight where you fly over the adversary and you release a weapon. But I would say our B-2 stealth bomber has a proven ability to get through to targets, a proven ability to deliver this weapon, and they're the best bomber pilots in the world. Whether it will be successful or not, I'm not sure. I do know that if we don't drop it, that will not be taken down by an aerial attack. The only thing that's going to take it down by an aerial attack is the GBU-57 delivered by the B-2 stealth bomber.
Truly remarkable aircraft, 69 foot long, 17 feet high, 172-foot wingspan. Just a massive, miracle in terms of aviation, right?
It is, and its replacement, the B-21, which we'll start seeing in just a few years here from the Air Force, we'll have that in much greater numbers. There's under 20 of these now, and they're an important part of our nuclear enterprise. So when we commit them to an event like this, it actually has an impact on our nuclear readiness. So it's good that they're able to, those 6 sorting from Guam, that might be what this is about. That's a reasonable commitment. I can imagine a future 5 and 10 years from now where we have a lot more B-21s able to do these missions.
Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery, grateful for your time, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.